People that want to come to the countryside think the countryside looks fabulous, but it looks fabulous because it is managed properly by local people.
What is intended is a balance so that you can enjoy a wide range of species in its natural habitat within a managed environment.
The moors are beautiful, they're constantly changing, and it makes you appreciate what the countryside is and the people who make it possible. Without these grouse moors, without the shooting, the English countryside would not be what it is, and that's one of the very difficult things that we've got to get across to the urban dweller who really doesn't have any appreciation for what it takes to keep the countryside the way it is.
Grouse shooting on the moor is very important because it brings people from all over the world and increases our business to spend money. We really couldn't do without it.
It's a big little business.
The grouse is a wild bird. It's not a bird which is reared, and its habitat is on these moorlands. Well, this area has been designated as a site of special scientific interest, and that has resulted from the fact that it's benefited from years of careful moorland management, which has protected the various species of flowers and wildlife which abound here. When you look at this beautiful countryside, it may look like an open expanse of moorland, which of course it is, but it's people's livelihoods. It's like a business. It's just the same as looking at Harrods and thinking, isn't it a lovely shop? You have to treat it with care and have respect for the fact that this is supporting the community who live in this area. We've come up onto this bit of ground to try and get an idea of the sort of density of birds that there are. I don't know, do you do a spring count, Bruce?
On this area we do a spring count, yeah. The game conservancy come and do the count up there in the spring.
So you get an idea of the number of pairs you've got?
That's right, yeah. They counted 66 grouse on the square kilometre this spring. In the spring, yeah.
Now we're just going to see what the result has been of the breeding from those pairs.
Right, I think we'll start here, yeah.
Okay, I'll take Molly first. Molly, come here. The counting which the setters and pointers do is so particularly important because most estates would do a spring count. That would give them an idea of the number of breeding pairs they've got and their locations. And it's usually plotted on a map. And then in the summer, the count will be repeated, and it would be possible to see what size of coveys have been produced from those pairs which were counted in the spring. The dogs work across the wind and they're scenting for grouse, and sometimes when they get a little touch of scent like this, they'll just check and just double back and come back across, and if the bird's just lifted, an experienced dog will know and they'll work on. She glances back, she's looking for hand signals because it's on the best of days it's supposed to be teamwork. See, she takes the hand signal to go out wider. This is what we call quartering, when the dog's working backwards and forwards across the wind. It's a tricky day today because there's hardly any wind, so I'm just letting her take it steady away, not too much interference, so that she can really concentrate. And then when the dog smells a bird, they'll do what we call pointing. Good girl. Good girl. That's exactly what you want. You don't want any attempt to snatch at the bird. It takes quite some working out for the dog because instinctively you would imagine as hunting dogs they'd be doing this in order to provide dinner. So that's where the training comes in. Good girl. Molly, good girl. Good girl. Any more? Hop! Hop! See that right up in front of her nose and no attempt. It's exactly what you want. Especially with the young ones, they go away squeaking. I'm sure it must be even more attractive. Good girl, Mol. Good girl. Any more? Good girl, good girl. Any more? Good And the girl. keeper will That's then good girl. use those Any more? figures Hup, to decide hup, hup. how many days That's he it, can let good for the girl. shooting. If the keeper finds, or the landowner finds that they have too many days let, they would simply cancel. It's quite a normal procedure to do that, and it's an essential part of the moor management, because if you shoot more than your excess number of birds, you're starting to eat into your breeding population, and that would then start to erode your ability to sustain the moor. Good girl.
I counted 8.
That was, yeah, I got 8 too. Nice sized covey. Quite well on.
Birds, yeah.
Yeah, quite well on. Well, you could have shot a few out of them.
You know, road that goes onto that tin hut.
Where we were spraying all
Yeah.
that bracken down below, yeah.
Yeah. And you want to stop at bridge yourself
Right.
and send Macca and John on road, John.
Understood.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So the decisions about how these rural areas are managed would be much safer if it were in the hands of the people who live and work in them. They know what is needed from years of experience, and I think that they need to be listened to.
Wait a minute, you got a big old.
6. 3.
I'm next to you.
Number 5.
Send your Philip.
Sandy.
Send your Philip up main road.
Up the main road in front of you.
Yeah. Well,
right.
on more. Just up back up this main road a bit, please,
Right, okay.
and just onto it more.
I have a lot of choice.
That'll be number 1.
Number 1.
No.
Same rules as Tuesday, gentlemen. We number from the right, different hill, but the same rules. Grouse only, please. Enjoy yourselves.
Very good. Thank you.
Very good.
I'm going with my man Peter.
I'm a keeper for the estate. Who keep a lump of moor for them and do vermin control and provide birds and such like for them. And end of the year, my job is to provide this, which is end result a shoot day with guns in butt.
The management has a number of aspects to it. One, which you see quite a lot, is areas of burnt heather.
Well, we're burning heather to make new shoots for the young grouse to eat, and obviously keeps the moor healthy. We do need some long heather for the grouse for the winter to give them some cover and that, but you know, we obviously need a lot of young heather for the young grouse to eat.
You can see it's nice deep purple heather with a good head and flower on it, so it's good condition.
The other very important aspect, of course, is the control of predators, and with the increased number of swathes of forestry around the country, of course, that provides ideal cover for predators. You know, things like foxes, stoats, rats, crows, and they feed off not just the grouse eggs and chicks, but also any other ground nesting bird. So the benefit to all ground nesting birds of moor management is immeasurable.
We've got a team of Americans hoping to shoot 100 brace a day, weather permitting. We had a good day on Tuesday, a bit hot. I think they're enjoying themselves. Good. These guys have brought 6 wives with them. They're staying in a hotel in Helmsley. I think the wives have gone shopping today, and that'll pump a lot of money into the economy, we hope. To us, it's vital. I mean, you can see the number of people involved in a day's grouse shooting. There are, I think, probably 35 people here. Aside from the guns, it's a big little business.
Yeah.
6 and 4.
Behind it, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody keeping track of this situation? Oh, the old heart pump. This has been plumb fun.
It didn't break out. Yes. It's not working.
Well, I feel lucky to have gotten 6 of those screamers. Well, we can't complain about that, can we, Dennis?
Good luck.
Oh, now is that in the cutest thing you have ever seen?
Good luck. Good luck.
All right, we've got 4 more up front.
I didn't shoot that well, but it was good fun. It was a beautiful drive.
It's the only type of driven shooting that we as Americans would do. And I personally think that the red grouse is the finest wing shooting target that there is in the world.
And I shoot in the States, I've shot in Argentina, I've shot in Spain, but grouse shooting is the best.
But the grouse is nothing else like it anywhere else in the world, and that's why we come.
I go back to a mile of farmer really and just go if grouse look short for wanting baiters. I don't go every time, but it's just for work dogs and a bit of beer money really. It's only about 20 or 25 pound a day, so it isn't going to make a wreck on anybody.
Go back. Get way back. Get on. Get back.
We all come from a rural background. It depends on how far back you have to go. And if you understand that, it's a very important part of any country. The rural countryside feeds the cities. People tend to forget that.
Whereas a gentleman that comes shooting from America thinks he's just coming to give a little bit of money to the economy. He doesn't realise that it takes beaters, it takes pickers up, it takes everything. And it's a knock-on effect. They're all employed and they're all local people. So that one person, that one shooting party that comes will actually employ maybe 40, 50 people for the day.
All of it combined has a tremendous impact on the local economy. I mean, you put a multiplier effect of 3 to 1 or 5 to 1 on that for every dollar spent, and it's a big part of the economy.
And if there was no grouse shooting, there'd be no people coming stopping at the hotels, and there'd be no gamekeepers, and it just all goes in with one another really. The shooting and both grouse and pheasants helps the economy quite a lot, I would think.
There could be 100, 150 locals out either beating, picking up. There'll be 3 or 4 teams occupying 3 or 4 different hotels, employing a number of catering companies. The list is endless. They all seem to drive big 4-wheel drive vehicles, all of which need fuel. That's the local petrol station's doing rather well. It
And many wives out shopping.
Yeah.
I hire Land Rovers out, and that's my main business, really. And if we didn't have Americans coming over, and Belgians and Germans, and you know, I'm just come from a very small village, and it's a big part of my life.
I would say all total, you're probably looking at $125,000, $150,000 for the party.
For a week.
For a week.
Without the income generated by the shooting of the excess number of grouse, there wouldn't be the money available to pay for the management of a moor like this. And without that management, the moor would not self-sustain with the range of plant life and bird and animal life that we have the benefit of enjoying here today.
You have been very lucky doing all you've done.
Everybody around here is involved in shooting. Without shooting, this area would be dead. Well, all the local businesses benefit from grouse shooting. The bakery, paper shop, the other local hostleries, they all benefit from grouse shooting.
We're extremely busy this week with the grouse season, and likewise through into September as well. October will be the same. They're moving on from that November, December, January with the pheasant shoots. That is a good 70% of our business. It's what we determine as our bread and butter for the winter months.
As a clothing retailer, selling mainly shooting clothing, we rely mainly on the field sports from August through to January, which would be the bulk of our business and creates a lot of employment around the area. People that go beating, people at hotels, pubs, everything, they benefit from the shooting world. Without that, in the rural community that we live in, basically it would be finished, it'd be a ghost town from sort of the end of summer onwards till the beginning of spring again.
It is only as the result of years of careful maintenance that it looks the way it does. If it hadn't been managed generation after generation, it wouldn't be a pleasant area to look at or to walk through. It wouldn't be the attractive proposition that it is.
People that want to come to the countryside think the countryside looks fabulous, but it looks fabulous because it is managed properly by local people.
The opportunity to enjoy this sort of ground is an enormous privilege, and to me this has to be just about the best it gets.